You're watching my favorite YouTube channel, Spider-Man Thwip Thwip. I've got Fatal J. We're here to say on July 1st of 2025, the hashtag recast T'Challa will trend. Now, why could I
Hey
say that?
man, I noticed you said that, but look at my face, man. I can't talk about Mark with a C no more. I'm
Ashy.
ashy. I went
Ash
from
Ketchum.
classy to classy to ashy.
And now you gotta what rhymes with that? I don't know. I was trying to go with the flow. I
I
couldn't
know
do it.
I threw your flow off. I'm sorry, man.
I
Speak on
could
it.
have said trashy. I could have said slashy. Okay, I'm gonna take the back seat and I'm gonna let you have this. I'm gonna let you go ham and talk about the recasting. I'm gonna let you go to T'Challa. I'm gonna talk about whatever you wanna. You can go from the SDCC Comic Con panels to the page on the comics panels. What's so significant about July 1st? Why did I choose that to be the trending day?
July 1st, you already know what it is. You know, you can look at it as a celebration. You can look at it
My
as
birthday.
whatever you want to do. But July 21st is going down.
You
We're
just
going
said the
to
wrong day. You said July 1st, 2025. Is there a learning disability that you may want to share with us, Fatal J, that you might have?
Man, but look here. I'm short bus unique, sir. Okay, it's always been that. I've told you guys plenty. When you invite me on your streams, you're not going to get the intellectuals. Okay? I'm special. Short bus special. I used to wear helmets and rubber boots to school. You know what they used to tell me, Fatal J? You stay right here. When the bell ring, you stay right here. I said, look here, teacher.
I don't know if
Why
you're
would the
joking or
bell...
not.
Look, I told the teacher, I said, ma'am, why when the bell ring the other classes, they switched to other classes? Why am I still here? She said, Fatal J, I got a little bell right here for you. Ding, ding, ding. When you hear that, go get your snacks. Now let's get back to it. July 1st is going down.
On July the
Recast T'Challa.
1st, I will be tweeting the hashtag recast T'Challa. I will prepare some short videos also and clips and post them throughout the day. I will do it hourly. Fatal J, he's got a strategic plan as well of how he's going to start posting on Twitter. And we are not alone. We are not alone.
Oh.
Here with you is many other content creators. Speaking of one, here's the Glimmer cast. Hello, Rhea. Yeah.
I am here with you.
Don't be afraid. We're here to make it trend today.
Yeah. That's
So,
what we doing.
so Kevin Feige and everyone who works at Marvel Studios, beware. Get ready with your little tactic, your little post, because last time we did it and the other time we did it, I think that was the day that some leaked set footage of the Fantastic Four movie came out, and it was like, "Hey, yo, talk about this, Marvel fans."
Remember the second one? The second one when we trended, guess what they did the next day?
What was it?
Denzel Washington said he's going to be in Black Panther 3.
That's
Remember
right.
that?
No, yeah, and he's in Australia, so he actually said that on the same day that we said it. It was just an hour later or so. But yeah, he'd said that on that Good Morning show in Australia. That Denzel, that was the new Black Panther news. If anyone was gonna write an article on, there's a fan initiative right now to make the recast T'Challa happen, and then good memory. Twice we did it on August 28th. We chose that date because Chadwick Boseman died on August 28th, and not to misremember his memory, to say that he would want this character to end like he was some guy who was a gatekeeper. We made it trend. The next day we chose was the anniversary of Wakanda Forever, and this time we're making it trend. July 1st is when he debuts on Fantastic Four. The character is 59 years old now.
Wow.
And so that's like a huge little birthday that we're going to be celebrating, and we're choosing that day. And I say we, I don't mean me and Fatal J. I mean everyone else who's going to be active on that day. I would recommend schedule a tweet for that morning, that Tuesday morning, just so that you don't have to think about what am I going to say. Make it polite. Don't include Shuri. Don't do anything where they go, you hate women. This is about T'Challa. Let's talk about this IP. Wow, 59 years ago, T'Challa was created. We got to love him. We need to see him in the movies recast T'Challa.
Chill, what you think about this? What if I do some artwork where T'Challa is in the middle and he's with the modern day Fantastic Four? Do you think that would grab more eyes? What you think?
That's a great idea because that's what this is about, right? This is about him debuting with the Fantastic Four, and now doesn't it feel incomplete that we got Fantastic Four without the Fantastic Fifth person in that picture?
Let me ask you a quick question. What if we've been wrong this entire time? and what if while we sitting in the theaters, we're watching Fantastic Four, this is another universe, and all of a sudden you see T'Challa, and he says his name is T'Challa, and he walks out his screen in full suit. What would you do? As for me, I would shit myself.
When I find that out, I purchase a movie ticket to go see that movie. That's what I would do. I would say, this is the relationship we have, Marvel. It's business. You do things like feature the greatest black character in cinema. I will be there in the cinema. That's what I would do. I'm not holding a grudge. It's transactional.
So you boycotting, right? You boycotting?
Yeah, I'm not spending any money on Marvel movies unless they do like Blade, unless they do something that combats white supremacy. Like I'll join for those, but I'm not here for anything else.
I'm right there with you too. I'm right there with you. Yeah. Definitely right there with you. But yeah, July 1st is going down. And hey, it's back on our shoulders again. Chill, because remember the last one we kind of had all the big time guys. They're gonna recast. I'm hearing recast. You know what I mean? What's that before? We did that before all that.
No, I remember. I remember what you're talking about. I just don't want to name names because I'm not like that guy. But you're right. Yeah.
Now, but it's back on our shoulders again because we don't have all that hype no more. Remember all these big YouTubers? Oh, I heard from my sources that T'Challa, they're finally going to recast. Now all that chatter is silent. It's quiet now. So it's back on our shoulders again.
The grassroots. And what are the things that they've got really going on with the Wakandan Black Panther franchise without T'Challa? There's no Okoye series that's supposed to come out. They've canceled that. I wouldn't count the Ironheart show that they've got now as part of Wakanda. I know that there are comic books that feature Riri Williams and Wakanda, but I don't think that she is a Wakandan character, so to say. And I'm looking over to the side to show you comic book issue number 8, where she's on the cover and she's on Wakanda. This thing here. Whoop, whoop. God, it took so long to get to this. It's not even going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's going to be worth it, man.
There. When Riri Williams that was a cool cover too. They got all of these women who are Wakandan and she's just standing out like a sore thumb. Yeah. I know she's been featured in the Wakanda. She was like 4 issues that happened there. And we got to see her dad in that comic book. But she's not a Wakandan character. They really only got Eyes of Wakanda on Disney Plus coming up. That's it. Like, they don't got plans.
And they don't care. 4 freaking episodes? 4 episodes.
Animated episodes.
Okay. At least do this. Usually an animation is what? The runtime is 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
At least make these joints an hour. That's so disrespectful. What Disney Plus show animated, let's keep it animated, have been just 4 freaking episodes?
Well, X-Men 97 was 10 episodes, but they had white people. Spider-Man Far Friendly Neighborhood, but they had white people. What If was super long episodes, but it was mostly white people. Yep. I don't know. What was only 4 episodes?
I mean, these little jabs that we getting from Marvel, are y'all not waking up and seeing that? You drop Ironheart on the same day as freaking Superman. How in whatever universe that you live in is Ironheart going to compete with Superman? Riri was invented in the 2000s? Yeah. She was invented in the 2000s, not the 90s. And even if she was invented in the 90s, she still couldn't hold a flame to Superman. So disrespectful. Look at Mahershala Ali. So disrespectful. Look at Jonathan Major. So disrespectful.
Yeah, he's actually got a film coming up.
Look at Chadwick Boseman. Look at Rhodey. Armor Wars. So disrespectful. That was supposed to come out way before this came out.
Just because you brought it up, it was on my page. Jonathan Majors Merciless. Face Your Demons. This is a new poster.
That's a new movie?
Yeah, he's got this film, Merciless.
Dang, is he like an assassin or something?
I thought he was. I think it's something like that. Yeah.
I see like a demon in the background though.
I forget, man. I read it once. He's definitely someone who knows how to use the weapons.
Man, hold on. I gotta look up AI now since you said that.
Yeah.
Maybe AI. No, AI, man, I love AI. Even I know it's gonna be the destruction of mankind history. I still love it.
Oh, not to mention Sam Wilson. See, I think part of them doing him dirty is that they don't call him Falcon and they gave him Captain America, which we know is temporary. The real Captain America in video games and every other iteration will be Steve.
Hold that topic, what you just said. Merciless is an upcoming supernatural revenge thriller film starring Jonathan Majors, marking his first major role since his 2023 domestic assault and harassment convention. Directed by Martin Villeneuve, the younger brother of filmmaker Dennis Villeneuve. Oh,
Yeah, from Dune.
got my interest. So this is a supernatural thriller. I'm sold.
Yeah. You're back to Falcon, and yeah, Steve Rogers is the Cap, and Sam Wilson didn't really get publicity and marketing. He had a February movie. I know people want to say February is a great time for movies. I'll always push back against that. There's a reason why historically great movies don't happen around after Christmas. It's because that's when people are home and they don't really want to spend money on movies.
The big blockbusters is either summer or Christmas.
Yeah. Has the recast buzz died down since the concept art leaked? I feel like the fans now expect T'Challa to show up in Doomsday, if not Secret Wars. You know what I'm going to add? T'Challa is a gender fluid term. It's a fluid term, not gender fluid. It's a fluid term. Some people say T'Challa, and they're talking about Nakia's son from Haiti. Some people mean it's got to be actually T'Challa. Some people say it could be T'Challa from another universe. So I think most people are going to expect a male person. They'll call him T'Challa, and that's what we're going to get. I think most people are there after that concept art.
It's so sad. I don't think it will be though. I'm hoping it's not. But I don't know. I don't know at this point. Because Marvel is a company that's hard-headed and they don't listen to the fans at all. The only time I could really think they listened to the fans, but it was to their benefit, was John Krasinski as Richard Reed.
What about in Daredevil when they returned Foggy and Karen?
The script was probably so crappy before that it wasn't to our benefit. It was for their benefit.
Okay, so what they'll do is they won't listen. They'll give you an older version of T'Challa's son, and they'll say this is T'Challa now instead of
look at the only reason why we got Blade and Deadpool and Wolverine. It wasn't Marvel. It was because Ryan Reynolds wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point, right? And he made the phone call to Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, they would have never called Wesley Snipes to be in that movie.
Crazy.
That's why I like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds got a lot of pull in Hollywood, and I think he's a fan. He's a comic book fan.
Professor says, "Yep." It feels like they're doing Sam dirty by constantly making him prove himself too. And yeah, give him his Avengers team. Why is he making and creating his Avengers team off of the movies? It feels like I was watching the Thunderbolts end credit scene, and they said something about Sam, and he's got the Avengers license. When did they ever mention that?
I gotta look because you got me really curious. I want to see where they at on Box Office Mojo, and did it make his money back? What was the budget for the Captain America 4 movie?
Remember when they lied and they told us it's only 180 despite reshoots?
Yeah.
They said it was 180.
180. So worldwide is at 415 million. It still didn't break even.
Nah, it didn't, bro.
No, it didn't break even.
It didn't.
Because it got to be at least 5 or 6 for it to break even?
It's supposed to double its marketing budget.
Yeah.
And it's the production budget. Eyes of Wakanda, first look. Creator sets up a giant spy espionage story that reverberates through time. This is an exclusive.
Did you ask for that?
I wanted T'Challa. Like
I didn't ask for that. I was just wondering, did you ask for that?
No, it wasn't me. I thought whatever. Wakanda without T'Challa in it, and trying to prove you can make money with this franchise without the primary character isn't something I'm gonna ever ask for.
Even the Gotham show had young Bruce Wayne in it.
Yeah.
You could have got me if you came out with the Eyes of Wakanda and you had Child T'Challa in there. And I ain't talking about Tucson. I'm talking about him as a child. I probably would have watched it.
Yeah, but it feels like they've got a no T'Challa allowed rule. He can't be an X-Men 97. He can't be
He
in a
can't
video
be
game.
nowhere. He can't be nowhere. And they want you to forget about it. That's the point.
Seriously. Let's keep reading this thing. That's an image. We got these 4 characters riding on a boat with a lion man. It says, before Avengers Endgame, before Marvel TV's Disney era began, before Marvel Animation even really became a thing, the storyboard artist Todd Harris had a vision of Wakanda.
Who was
That helps. It's nice to know they had this vision before all that stuff, before Chadwick Boseman had died. It's good to know that, but also you're using it now because you want to make money without the character. So I look at this also with the Christopher Priest comic book that they have. He decided this before Chadwick Boseman had died, and he was like, let's do this Elseworld. It'll happen in the future after T'Challa dies. Who takes over as the Black Panther? They didn't do that when Chadwick Boseman was alive. And now they're like, hey, yo, let's go adapt that story. Like, they pulled out that email.
They got a big backlash for that comic, though. Did you see on Twitter?
Yeah, but enough people will buy it because Twitter is not a real place.
That's true too. That's true. Because you would think the Snyder cult, and I'm a Snyder head. The Snyder cult would have demolished anything that wasn't Snyder in DC, and they can't do it because it's only 100 people. You know.
If only T'Challa was white. See, we would have had a recast, bro. What do you mean? White T'Challa? Shit.
And that's the cold thing about it. White people was the main people that watched Black Panther. Give the white people what they want.
That's the new angle. We got to take it from the white perspective. A student of history and a longtime fan of Marvel since before I was allowed to be left alone in a comic book store, he says, Harris sought to mash both of those themes together, combining what he calls the interconnectivity of Marvel with the interconnectivity of history, along with the interconnectivity of the human story. I want to just critique something. These are quotation marks here that start the quote, and they don't end the quote at all. So as a person who's reading, that was very difficult. Entertainment Weekly.
But let's break that down. What the freak is the interconnectivity of Marvel? That's the whole point of Marvel's interconnectivity.
Yeah. So then why don't you just say Marvel?
That's why we watch them, because they all connected.
So he's going to match historical events with what Wakanda was doing at the time. I don't know. I feel like they're in an isolationist state. So what they were doing all the time was not getting involved. I wonder what they do here. It could be good.
I'm not going to watch.
They let me go hog wild, he tells Entertainment Weekly. Why did you say? Why'd you groan? They let him go wild. Why'd you groan?
Okay, if you're gonna go wild, put T'Challa in there.
Yeah. See, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking.
See, this is the thing, though. This is what he really saying. Remember when I showed you that video a long time ago? You probably already seen it before I showed you. Remember, what did all the writers and the directors say Marvel let them do?
Yeah, they don't let them read the comic books. They say create your own original story. So this guy seems like he's a fan, though.
No, he's not.
I think let me go hog wild means we have no plans for it. We actually don't even care enough about what you do here. So letting you go wild. No, I want to know that there were restrictions. I wasn't allowed to do ABC because they have a plan for DEF. But don't tell me they let you go wild. But okay, they let me go hog wild, he tells EW in an exclusive interview. The results became Eyes of Wakanda, an animated series for Disney Plus about various warriors of the fictional African nation throughout history.
It's like you said, though, Jill. Are we going to see these characters again?
These guys, they don't look significant.
Remember what you told me about the race swaps. You see them for a small period, a temporary moment in time, and then bam, It's back to whatever you hate. Or it's back to whatever you love, excuse me.
Yeah. So
why do we need to see this? Why do the fans need to get connected to these characters? Didn't you already give us Wakanda Forever, which the basis of that movie was to show you the world of Wakanda, which it really didn't show you the world of Wakanda. You just saw Wakanda get wrecked. That's all you saw.
yeah. Honestly, and these aren't like criticisms that came out of nowhere. We were warning about this. We've been talking about this. We're like in year 5 post Endgame, where some of these thoughts and criticisms of Marvel have come to a boiling point.
But this is how they even more disrespectful. Notice what the man said. I'm going by just what he said about this show. It's not even about a panther.
It's about various warriors of the fictional African nation.
Did he say a panther, though?
No, he said various warriors throughout history. So one of them could be a panther episode.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
I really like the idea of everyone's view of history. Harris, who serves as showrunner and director, continues. The story starts off during the end of the Western Bronze Age, and that spark set off the giant spy espionage story that reverberates through time. You get Wakanda-grade James Bond, and sometimes a Jane Bond.
Oh, here we go.
With the backdrop of all the awesomeness that is Wakanda. Why'd you groan when he said Jane? They wanted to demasculate the black community with women? What do you mean?
I hate to be the guy that quotes the other guys, the grifters.
Okay.
But the grifters are right at some points. The MCU. It's no Jane Bond out there. Just keep it together. Just say espionage spy with spies. But he had to specifically say Jane Bond. He had to put that in there.
Because I guess one of the episodes of these 4 will have a woman who's in the forefront of a team, you know?
You know the reason why I like Kill Bill, the movie Kill Bill?
She's a woman?
They didn't make it known it was a woman. When Quentin Tarantino was describing this movie, he said it's a Western / Kung Fu movie. That's it.
He never called it a female empowerment story. He never said it's Charlie's Angels meets James Bond.
We've seen this too many times.
So because of his advertising and him referencing or mentioning the female thing, you think he's going too heavy-handed on it, where this isn't done for the right reasons type thing? I already don't care because Eyes of Wakanda.
I don't care either. I'm not going to watch, but I'm just saying, when we see these showrunners or writers or directors, whatever, when they describe a show that they're a part of, and they put emphasis on the female protagonist or the female presence in this, how do that usually go?
Okay. And so by saying James Bond, which is actually a real person, Jane Bond doesn't exist, but he was like, oh no, I just said something pro-male. I got to make sure that I'm saying a woman. Jane Bond, yes.
Yeah.
Good, I did it. You think that's what happened? I can see what you saw.
Now, this supposed to be him going by history. And I'm going to leave it at that.
So in what place in history outside of Wakanda, because Wakanda, I guess they got their own style, what place were women seen as warriors, and like how often was that? They called it the Bronze Age?
In Africa, right? During the Bronze Age.
All right. Well, they may be in other places, not just Africa. When he said he was allowed to go wild, he implies anything that happens is inconsequential to the wider story. Facts. They followed the comics a little during the Infinity Saga, I guess. They even followed it a little now. This what is anime nerds would call an OVA.
I love OVAs.
Oh.
Fun fact, Rhea, the first OVA ever, believe it or not, and you cannot find it online for some reason, was Ghostface Killer of the Wu-Tang Clan Daytona 500. And in that OVA, he did his song, and they edited Speed Racer, and they edited to where Speed Racer was rapping Ghostface Killer lyrics. That was the first OVA ever.
Original video animation.
Yep.
Thanks. More from this article, because this is Eyes of Wakanda, baby. This is the best thing that ever happened. Harris said, "We try to mirror the actual spirit of the nation of Wakanda by keeping as many secrets as possible. However, we do know the story involves the Hattusaraze, which translates to dogs of war in the Wakandan language. These CIA-esque defensive divisions attempt to recover vibranium artifacts from Wakanda's enemies. Well, if they're supposed to be the Hattusaraze, that is an all-male team, so I don't know who these Jane Bonds would be. When an inciting incident..."
Hold on, man. You're going too quick. We didn't unpack that part.
All right.
Look, man, I'm out for 2 months. I got plenty of time to just really analyze and break stuff down. I don't know about you. He said we try to mirror the actual spirit of the nation of Wakanda by keeping as many secrets as possible. What?
Well, Wakanda is so private that they don't reveal who they are to the rest of the world. Everyone else thinks they're poor people. So he's going to try to keep them poor people. Or he's going to keep their reputation as guys who can't fend for themselves and they're just lonely little African nation.
Yeah, because in the original Black Panther movie, that's how they was portrayed, right? As a poor African city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in Civil War, they didn't know that T'Challa and T'Chaka was actually from this futuristic African nation of technology, right?
In Black Panther 1, when Claw was being interviewed by Agent Ross, he said, "What do you know about Wakanda?" And Ross was like, "I don't know. They got cool outfits, good weather." That was it. People don't know what they're like.
Gotcha.
I love OVAs. Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun. They're just standalone stories.
Raya, you just named some of the best, if not the best, anime known to man.
Okay.
Shout out to the Yu Yu Hakusho lovers.
Can you tell me something? Did it get bigger when I do this? Did the screen change?
It got bigger and better because my eyesight is terrible.
All right.
Okay, so that's the part I wanted to talk about the most is the secret sport.
CIA-esque defensive divisions attempt to recover vibranium artifacts from Wakanda's enemies.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Do that make sense to you?
No, they're supposed to be so superior you can't even get your hands on a vibranium, let alone steal the vibranium.
Yes. Vibranium is they almost worship vibranium.
Why do we gotta colonize and scavenge the African country that we all love? Because they weren't colonized. They're the one country that's not affected by the 1884 meeting in Berlin. This Wakandan vibranium that they have should only be for them. How it could get to someone else's hands, but it dilutes even the specialness of what Ulysses Claw was able to do, which was steal the vibranium. So now you're hurting your own white characters.
This man is telling you this is gonna be dog crap. He letting you know. He don't know it, but he letting you know.
The fixation on stealing from an African country is crazy wild. The programming that they're doing here, I don't care. That is something being subtly sent to us, and this message that they're gonna get back their vibranium implies that they were weak enough to have their vibranium stolen from them.
I want to ask you a question because you went deep just then. You'll realize it. Just following me. Would you would have had more respect for Wakanda forever if the Wakandans wasn't fighting the Hispanics and they was fighting white people?
That would make a lot better of a movie. But they couldn't do that, could they? No.
They couldn't. See, and that's what I'm saying. The psychological games they playing with this franchise is scary. It's creepy.
I'm gonna counter that. As we speak right now, there was a uranium business in Niger, and they used to gross $1 billion off of it. They would sell it to France, and they could use it for their nuclear energy and everything. Yeah. Now, Niger kicked out France this year, and instead of grossing $1 billion, they made $300 billion off of their own uranium. Why? They cut out the middleman. They cut out the foreigners. They cut out There is strength in your own resources, being able to fund yourself, to support yourself and live off of it. And African nations currently are waking up to this. Chad, Senegal, Ghana, and their gold. We already know about Burkina Faso. They've been trying to assassinate Traore. There's a revolution happening with ownership and with resources. And to have like drilled in our brain that these guys got to recover their vibraniums is crazy wild to work to do. I don't care if the writer was black, white, or anything. That's wrong.
Right on. I agree.
When an inciting incident releases some of these things into the wild, they've got to, in a very hush kind of way, make sure that these things don't turn into a bigger problem, Harris says. We saw what happened when one disc got into the hands of one super soldier. It changed the course of the world. Oh, he's talking about the shield, right?
Oh, okay. I wonder what the freak is he talking about a disc. It had me replaying all the Captain America movies that I seen.
Maybe he wasn't allowed to say Captain America because that's supposed to be Sam now.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's some artwork. Looks pretty.
Okay, let's analyze the artwork though. Those are those panthers or those lions?
At the top of the ship, lion.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, you're right. I see the lion
lion
right there. I see the lion right in front of me. But okay, who are they? Who are they?
I guess they have to be the Hattusarazi. Now they're not wearing white, and one of them is a woman over here, but that's the Hattusarazi, I think.
Who is the Hattusarazi? That's the men that's in Wakanda?
Yeah, it's the all men's military team.
Okay, but why the freak is they wearing lions though?
Yeah, who knows, bro? Remember, he got to go wild, right? They're not following comics.
If you go back to Black Panther 1 and they had that little animation, the claymation or whatever, and as soon as that meteorite hit the planet, they was immediately worship the Panther God, right?
Yeah, so when did they start worshiping lion gods, and what's that inclusion here?
That's what I'm saying. Where is this? What is this? Where is this coming from? It's like they so scared. I don't even think they scared. I think they don't care. Let's just mess it all up. Let's mess the lore up.
This thing was too consistent with the branding, and now here's our chance after our actor died to ruin it.
You just nailed it. I seriously believe in my heart of hearts that Black Panther was never supposed to do $1 billion.
No.
It was not projected to do $1 billion. It was here, take this and shut up. Shut up, black people. We represented you. Shut up. It's over. Oh, it hit $1 billion. Okay, we can't make Black Panther more popular than Captain America. We can't make Black Panther more popular than Iron Man. We just can't. Let's make him a girl.
Take advantage of the actor's death. It happened in the comics. She became Panther in the comics, right? Well, yeah. Did he die during that story, or was he in just as many pages as she was of those comics? Which one was it? So
it was temporary.
Because she's not even going to be the Panther. Like, she might be the Panther in Avengers Doomsday. She's not going to be the Panther in the new third Black Panther movie. We're going to get like that recast, or they'll age up Toussaint. I hope it's a recast.
And for my Caucasian people, for my Asian people, for my Hispanics, all races out there, Fatal J love you all.
Okay.
I just tell the truth on things. They did not want T'Challa to be more popular than Iron Man, Captain America, whoever. It wasn't never supposed to go that way. And that's why they're doing this.
Now, I'm not on my phone. There's a video I'm looking for of
what if young black gangster boys out there, what if black kids in the hood idolize this king from Africa? We can't have that because they're clean their lives up and try to be more and do right. Because when you look at movies inspire people so much, it makes them change their lives.
We repeat our actions. We even speak the way the characters speak.
Yeah. So we can't have that. No. We're going to make women. We're going to make a woman Black Panther. We're going to put so many Black Panthers in there. They're not going to know who, and they're just going to stop caring. That's what we're going to do.
I found the video I was looking for.
And we'll spend the throwaway money on projects like Eyes of Wakanda to show that we care, but we really don't. That's just a tax write-off show, you know?
It's just a tax write-off.
4 episodes, bro. Tax write-off show, man.
Tax write-off. Still, they when they made the decision that they made, they didn't want this. Little man dressing up as Black Panther.
Yeah.
Well, on the packaging, it said that it fits you until you're 7, and I'm 7. So it fits until you're like 9.
You know what you got to do for your first task as Black Panther? You have to go up there.
No, Mommy said it's not safe.
Black Panther doesn't have a mommy. He's a man of his own. He lives alone.
Just because I'm Black Panther doesn't mean that I go up a ladder.
Why not? You're supposed to save the day.
Save.
Save the day.
On the box. On the
He was Black Panther, and
And
not
that's-
once did they say anything about, oh, look at the way I look and I don't match the character. He was a part of a character who's in the pop culture zeitgeist, just like Superman is and just like Spider-Man is. He decided to dress up like a hero.
Do you know why Dark Council got started? The real reason?
I think you told me 3PO was talking about how come I can't enjoy this stuff.
He said, "Is it okay for me to like Black Panther?" I'm like, bro, what the freak is you talking about? Yes, you can like it.
And so here we go, which is the change we want to see in the world. And executives, we can't have that. Oh yeah, this character got way too hot. Is this guy like? No, do we just normalize a black superhero? Nah, bro. We don't do that. That's why Static
Yeah.
Shock isn't a thing.
He
We
got-
don't do
he
that.
got- he got too popular, man. That's what it was. Ladies and gentlemen, if I see you all listening, make sure you smash that like button. The secret of why they're doing this is because they don't want T'Challa to be more popular than RDJ character, Chris Evans character. He damn sure more popular than Chris Hemsworth. You know, they just don't want that. They don't want that.
Shuri just isn't it. I'm sorry, but she isn't. Okay, I'm with you. And I just want to say, make sure when we criticize Shuri, we don't allow for an angle of, oh, you guys hate women, because that would that would ruin what we're going for, which is representation at its highest order, the most iconic character, and not men are more better than women. That's not the message.
But this is the thing. The people who accuse us of not liking women, those are the people that don't even know the lore of Shuri.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Complaints.
Yeah, they just that's just the first thing. Oh, I can use the idea that he's attacking women to make him be quiet. No.
They don't know that the comic books, right after she becomes Black Panther, goes into Doom War, which leads by T'Challa. They don't know that. Then he goes to Hell's Kitchen, and Daredevil is being taken over by the Black Panther T'Challa.
I love being petty, and I could be real petty. I've been petty before, and those people who told me, you just don't like women. I said, well, what if I turn Storm from X-Men into a man? How about that? You'll lose your marbles if that happens.
I'm looking at how they do Storm this time around, because all the other times it was another studio. Kevin Feige, you love women, right? You're progressive, right, Kevin? Let's see how you do Storm in this upcoming X-Men.
That's going to be real interesting.
There's no reason why she should be like the 7th character on the casting.
I can honestly say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chill, but Storm is the most popular Marvel female. Don't you
It's
think?
arguable.
Who will be bigger than her?
Jean Grey, Captain Marvel, maybe Rogue, or Sue Storm, maybe.
I don't know, man. Because like when you look at like the Jean Grey books, do they do better than the Storm books?
Currently, I think the Storm book is doing better. Currently,
I'm about to say I think Storm. Just when you really think about it, I don't put Black Widow into it because she just became really popular during Avengers. Storm been popular for what, since the 70s, the 80s, the 60s. Not the 60s.
she didn't exist until 75.
Oh, okay. I want to say Storm, pound for pound, is the most popular female Marvel character.
I'm gonna look at some X-Men sales, and maybe that'll be true.
Yeah,
Am I
AI.
sharing?
Do AI.
Am I sharing my screen there? We got it.
Like I'm more of a DC head. I'm a Marvel head too, but for certain, I know Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman
Here.
are the most popular girls in DC, and sales wise, Harley Quinn is more popular than Wonder Woman.
The 9th issue of Phoenix was the 72 bestseller of that month.
Okay,
But the 6th issue of Storm was the 36th bestseller of the month.
Storm.
She makes more money than Jean Grey is making.
She's the most popular character.
Yeah.
She's the most popular female character.
In the X-Men, it will appear so.
And I'm like you, chill.
Mhm.
If they be disrespectful with Storm and make her, nothing against Cynthia Erivo, nothing against her. But if they do that, I know they're sabotaging Storm as being an inspirational character for females out there.
I promise you, you can find a Kenyan actress who will sign a contract with you guys for a price that you would love. And she can look like Storm. And she
Not
will
even that, but not even have to do that. You just get somebody dark skinned and that can act and attractive.
So you're saying Cynthia Erivo's not attractive?
No, the reason why I'm saying
Yes,
this
you did. Wicked of you.
in her own way, she's
Even if you include music, listen to what type of music they put out today. Oh yeah, this crosses over to music. When we're talking about the roles to aspire to, the music that we have is telling us to be trash. It's funny that Ryan Coogler talks about Ironheart not taking the mantle of Iron Man. Oh, let me actually thank you for reminding me by using the word mantle. Let me keep going. I just told you when Shuri takes the mantle, she is in comic books called Black Panther, but those are featured T'Challa. She gets a 4-issue limited series called Claws of the Panther. And even in that one, she's fighting Ulysses Claw, which is T'Challa's villain, but she really doesn't go out on her own. Then it stops. She's not featured in anybody's comic book. She doesn't star in her own comic book. Meanwhile, T'Challa is doing the Daredevil thing for like a whole year, and you get to read those comics. And then during the Avengers comic book, T'Challa is one of the main people on that team. Go read New Avengers, and you'll see Shuri do the next major part of her story arc, which is die. She dies by Proxima Midnight of Thanos' order, kills her. She's dead. That next step for Shuri, there's not much for her to do, is to die. And you know that these people don't read the comic books to know that. Why would you want Shuri to be Panther? And do you even want her to get her new superpowers when T'Challa resurrects her from death? You don't know enough about comics to know that's what's next for this character. I do. I love for her to ascend and have her own unique identity, an outfit. She's the Aja Adana. That's what I want for the character because I know who the character is. So thank you for writing the word mantle, Ant-Man. It's funny that Ryan Coogler talks about Ironheart and taking the mantle of Iron Man, yet it was all about the mantle in Black Panther. Yeah, when they were talking about Ironheart, they go, it's not another character taking a mantle. She's her own character. You know? Didn't say that for Shuri.
all I know is Eyes of Wakanda is gonna be trash, man. It might have some cool factors in it. I wouldn't know. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna review it. None of that. I'm just not gonna do it.
We got Unfiltered bringing his positivity to the stream and then running off. He says, Shuri is Black Panther. She will be in Doomsday. She will likely be Black Panther in Black Panther 3. That's a fact. Well, how could it
How
be
you
a
know
fact
that?
if you said likely? So are you still here? Scotty Hawk says, damn, the Ironheart comparison. Sheesh. Let's go back to the article I was reading for Eyes of Wakanda, just so that we don't, leave a thread like a Marvel post-credit scene. All this started because I wanted to show you that kid who dressed up like the Black Panther because, that was his character. That was so cool to see white kids can enjoy the character as well.
Yep. But you got to think, man, a lot of white people, most of the people that watch Black Panther, it wasn't black people. I don't care how much they made it look on TV. The majority of the people that came out and watched the Black Panther movie was white people. And
Phil, do you want a link? Phil, I'd be glad to give you a link if you want to join in.
We'll give you a link so we can laugh at you talking about likely as a fact.
No, you don't even have to have your camera on. You can just do this and you can express your points.
She would likely be Black Panther in Black Panther 3. That's a fact. Likely.
That is
pretty
a fact.
much.
Stay mad. I'm So something about like the movement or a civil rights movement or any racial equality movement is like to say something like that. She's gonna stay the Black Panther. Things are gonna stay the way they are. Stay mad. You're against progression because at the root of this, it's that this is a black character. It's a significant character. He's inspirational. He provides much, and we want the character back. No matter how woman's friendly you think you're being right now, and yes, yeah, chief, yikes. No matter how woman friendly and you're riding out, you think you're doing something good. This isn't an anti-woman men's movement or something like that. This is a like melanin on your skin movement of a character who got hot and they stopped using that character. He's not even on X-Men 97. They had to retcon it to make it his dad. There's danger being done racially. You're coming in here. If you're coming in here thinking this is a go men, women boo, then all right, I understand your intentions. It's not that. I don't have patience for your anti whatever you're bringing to this. She is Black Panther.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. And Red, I'm not trying to be mean. I promise you I'm not. But chill. You have some people who think, and then you have some people that ingest anything people give them. And sometimes thinking is too hard for them. So they choose not to think and let other people think for them. So the reason why he's saying this is, I think I'm just going to take whatever they give to me. And I'm complying with that. I'm content with that. I'm content with whatever Marvel does.
And I'm for protesting. I'm for what Star Wars taught me, and it's to rebel. I'm for seeing what is happening now that is a problem, and then using my power and resources to challenge that and change things for the better, which would mean the greatest black character ever being on screen.
See, we to the outside looking in, we just look like nerds that are upset about Black Panther. But if you go back and watch earlier in the stream, we basically broke down the optics of how this looks or what this could potentially do to your thinking. Not our thinking, your thinking. People who don't know anything about Black Panther or T'Challa history, what this could be doing to them. You have to look at the clues and stuff. I just said early on, Black people, Wakanda, Hispanic people, Namorians, or whatever you want to call them, fighting each other. Your subconscious mind keeps that in that part of the brain.
Yeah,
it keeps that. These people that do marketing for Marvel and Disney, they know this stuff. They studied this stuff.
The greatest enemies know this stuff. The images that they try to push. What was it called in Philadelphia? And they just had like the 30-year anniversary of it. Was it called Move?
It's the reason why, and nothing against the female women out there. And I'm not going to go too hard. Chill. It's a reason why the Black community is the way it is, because you had a opposition that came in and told the female women,
you don't need a man.
You kick that man out, I'll take care of you. It's a reason why in Black Panther, you had this alpha male, king of Africa. Snatch that away. You better like Shuri. Shuri is the king now. She's the queen now. And you better like it.
Even though I agree with you, I still think if you lead with those things, you allow people like Unfiltered, who's got his own YouTube channel. You guys want to listen to Phil talk things that he's into, but you give them the go of the angle of, I see this is a anti-women's movement. When you bring up some of those reasons, I'd rather talk about the racial inequality angle all the time over the women stuff.
But this is not an anti-woman thing. I'm just telling you the truth of what they're doing. See, it's either you want the truth or you want the lies. You see what they're doing. They're taking pieces out of Wakanda and throwing it away. They something that they made creatively so beautiful. They're now taking parts, adding stupid parts in. And now it's just a terrible mess. It's a mess. It's just like they took a Ferrari. They took a Ferrari and they saw the Ferrari was doing good. It's looking good, but it can't look too good. So let's take out the windshield. Let's put a Camry windshield in there. Let's take out the tires. Let's put a Volkswagen tires on there. That's what they're doing. And then after a while, it's not a Lamborghini no more. It's a hot, stinking, funky mess.
Unfiltered, you're still invited. There is a link, invitation link, if you want to pop in. If you are still here, if you're still listening, but the last 3 minutes was for you. I hope that you heard all of that and can stop doing what you're doing here, which is coming into my live streams when I'm advocating for the greatest black character there is, an aspirational one, a guy who was a trendsetter, a guy who was a success like no other has succeeded before, grossing $1 billion. I hope that you can see that as, oh, okay, so yeah, you're right. White characters get to reoccur often, and they don't ever go, oh, we'll just kill the, like, yeah, Harrison Ford got to just get recasted. That's right. I'm gonna watch Star Wars, and the Balin Skull character, yeah, they got Rory they got a new actor who's playing for Balin Skull. Yeah, it's interesting that but not T'Challa. Strange that Lance Reddick can die and he plays Zeus in the Percy Jackson. All they had to do was get Claire. What's her name? What's his name? He's got a girly name. Angela Bassett's husband.
But I challenge people out there like Red. I really do. I challenge them all. Give me a white character who died in a movie or in a TV show that was doing excellent day, and that person died, and they say, you know what? We're going to respect this guy. We're going to respect this young lady. We're going to never use them again. I'll wait.
I don't know. You know what? I can think of a non-white character in Transformers where Optimus Prime died and a lot of the fans wanted him back and they gave the character back. So let's just follow the precedence that exists of answering fan backlash. Sonic the Hedgehog looked terrible. They fixed it. Yeah. Unfiltered. You have no idea how every passing second that you don't respond, or at least say like, no, I'm busy right now or something. Every passing second that you're not part of this or you're not engaging with my words anymore makes you look worse and worse. Hello to Andre. I saw you, Andre, ask a question to Josh from Dead and Nerds about you think they were going to announce the recast at Comic-Con.
What up, Andre?
As a woman, prefer King T'Challa. Phil is wrong. T'Challa is the Black Panther, and that is a fact. Duh. Unless you want to count a portion in 2009 where she wasn't even accepted by the Panther God. Anyways, she was Black Panther. Marvel also recast Cyclops in X-Men 97 after Norm Spencer died. No, they iced Cyclops forever. They said it would be disrespectful. Didn't you remember? He wasn't in X-Men 97.
If you notice, if you pay attention, they do the black characters dirty in Marvel. Just have to pay attention. That's it.
And it won't just be characters rooted in Wakanda that we'll meet. The team revealed earlier at various events, including D23 Expo, that figures like the Iron Fist will pop up. Or an Iron Fist will pop up. EW's first look glimpse a character from a variety of backgrounds, including one woman channeling Viking shield made in garb. I guess that's the Jane Bond character, the Viking one. We're all in this together, and history has proven that, Harris muses. We like to think there are silos of people in history, but there's the Fertile Crescent, the Mediterranean, the intersections between Eurasia, Asia, North Africa, and all the different cultures that all created this mesh. That's what the imagery is supposed to invoke. It's not a rare circumstance that we're all here again together. In that regard, Eyes of Wakanda is a globe-trotting adventure, Harris continues. See, they're globe-trotting. Does that make you happy?
Yeah. Stupid.
There's a couple of surprises because part of the opportunity here is to sprinkle little pieces of history and go, I didn't know that happened. Part of it is holding a mirror up to some historical theories and some historical facts and some historical preconceived notions. Like the aliens created the pyramids? What do they mean by that?
Disney is so disrespectful. Call a show Eyes of Wakanda and they're globe-trotting.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sad, man.
I didn't even think of that.
Who
Hey,
is
Phil.
this guy?
Phil,
Who
you're...
is that?
I don't know who this is. Eyes of Wakanda will premiere this August on Disney Plus. They'll probably drop all 4 episodes at once.
Probably will. Probably will.
Yeah, that's probably the game plan. Phil, if you would like to join the conversation, please click on the link that I put in the live chat. It's an invitation to StreamYard. You can come in here and you can say what you think, or you will or you will have educated yourself. You just don't want to. Oh yeah, they are right, and you don't want to really come on here. I don't know. However you want to do it, but your comments are your comments. You're not welcome to make them. Well, you're welcome to make them, but they're not a welcome message. They're not met welcomingly.
What just happened?
My bad.
Dabba 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 you be. I love chicken.
What did I just hop into? I was gone for 5 seconds. You know why? On my mouse, there's this button where if you click on it, it'll take you back.
Hey,
It's
bro,
a-
looking at that mouse, you need a new mouse.
Yeah, but mine has a wire, so you got to change the battery on that every now and again, right?
Not really. You know,
You do have
They
to
have-
change the battery.
when you put a Duracell in this baby's gonna last a year. Look, when you got the wires start deteriorating, start getting messed up. Then it's disconnect.
Okay.
I'm a wireless guy. I got wireless buds in right now. I love wireless, man.
You see any of the long-term data? No, actually, there is none. There is none for long-term research on what the
Don't say it.
frequencies
Don't say
next
it.
to your brain. Yeah, you're right.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say
Anyone,
it.
everyone wondering, listen, it's Recast T'Challa trending day on July 1st. There is a countdown to it. There's video content I'm working on, Fatal J scripted content that we're going to have coming out on that day. I recommend all of you on July 1st to tweet Recast T'Challa, to put it underneath comments, people talking about Marvel. You can also say, I like if they recasted T'Challa, use the hashtag. If you don't want to wait, you can do it today because you can schedule tweets. Everyone, 10 o'clock in the morning, schedule a tweet, talk about how T'Challa is awesome, and say Recast T'Challa. I'm going to reach out to some other content creators as well as Fatal J and see if what they can do on that day or even the day before to warm things up. That's the plan. Plans are in motion. We made it trend the first time we did it and the second time we did it. Why won't it trend the third time we did it? This time we'll make it bigger and better. And we're ready for whatever Disney is going to come back with. Was Denzel Washington going to leak now, huh? I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fatal J on his way out. Oh, what do you want to promote? You have any streams coming up?
Nah, I just always want to do this. Bird gang.
I'm chill. I'm out. Recast T'Challa.